Hello, healthy friends. We're here at Well Rooted Farms with Scott Maricle, and this farm literally is a miracle because these farmers are growing incredible crops in Central Oregon, which is no easy task. So we're here just to ask, how are you doing it? How are you having all these incredible crops that are doing so well in this high desert climate?
It starts the year before with planting and feeding the soil and prepping for a good crop. Plant the seed and water it and it'll grow.
And what grows best here in Central Oregon? What do you find grows the best?
So I think potatoes grow the easiest here, and brassicas, like your cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, that sort of thing. Root crops, beets, carrots, spinach in the spring. Cooler crops are the easiest. The crops that are a little more challenging would be the tomatoes, peppers, maybe melons, things like that. So yeah, just getting enough heat units, enough heat, growing days is a challenge sometimes.
When do you start? When do you put crops in the ground?
In the ground, we start in into April and May, beginning of May. We start in the greenhouse the beginning of April, sometimes in March. But yeah, I guess our secret to the warmer loving crops would be that we put them in tunnels. We use frost cloth, and that way they can be warmer at night. It captures more heat units. It seems like a lot of work, but it actually goes pretty fast when you have a couple guys helping you. So that's our secret to growing tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that.
And how often do you water? And are there certain times of day that you water?
So we water different crops, different amounts. Like cucumbers take less water than potatoes and tomatoes. So we put it all on drip so that we can, but as a whole, everything's on at least on a week to 10-day schedule. They get most plants like a deep watering, and then a time frame where they slowly dry out. So that encourages deep root growth. So deep watering with our drip system is usually 12 to 24 hours of continuous watering, and then no water for a week.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And cucumbers, like our tomatoes, will be once a week. Cucumbers maybe every 10 days, and peppers maybe every 10 days. So it's kind of water is a big deal as far as getting the right amount.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And what makes it what do you think is more nutritious about eating foods right from farm to table as compared to getting stuff at the grocery store?
So it's your opportunity to get something that's ripened in the field versus picked green. The plant puts in more complex compounds in its fruit at the later stages of ripening, and it doesn't have that opportunity to do that if it's picked green. So you'll get more intense flavor, and flavor is shown to correlates with nutrition. So if something is more flavorful, usually it's more nutritious. And we know that inherently, but it's also been proven scientifically. So the longer it can be out in the field, as a whole, I believe it'll be the greater amount of nutrition for and we're talking complex molecules that feed the body. So yeah, it's most things are picked fairly green to allow them to be shipped long distances. So yeah, we like to offer the U-Pick experience so that you can come out and taste things before you buy.
That's beautiful.
We encourage people to eat in the field if they feel comfortable doing that.
And what days and times is the U-Pick?
It's 9 to, I believe it's 9 to 8 right now. It's all self-serve. You come out, pick what you want, and then just help yourself. We have some things picked already in the shed over there in the cooler. We pick every day just as we sell it. And that's just so some people don't have the time to come out to pick, but they still want their veggies really fresh.
And you encourage children too to get, even families can bring their kids.
Oh, I love to see
really
kids
get that
out.
Experience. Yeah.
I love to see kids discover where their food comes from, and yeah, it's very rewarding to me, because that's some of my best memories is being in the garden with my grandparents. And I think that we get a sense of vegetables become more of a positive experience versus a struggle if you put it in your mouth on your own and you pick it and discover it. Kids have this intuitive thing that when they see a fruit, they want to pick it. You don't have to tell them that. They will, if they see a red tomato, they'll pick the tomato. You don't, even before like 2 and 3 years old, they'll want to pick it. And that's so much fun for me to watch that and to encourage that. So we planted 7 rows of potatoes over there, and they're different colors. And I'm really looking forward to kids coming out and picking potatoes, digging potatoes with their parents, because I know that they're going to have a lot of fun doing that. And one lady had 3 or 4 kids out here, and she spent, I don't know, $10 or $10 or $15, and it was out here 45 minutes, and she says, yeah, that was the cheapest fun we've had.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
my kids loved it.
Entertain your kids who are home from school right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's a really big part of what we do is to introduce vegetables to kids. Yeah.
I love it.
In a positive experience.
So one thing I enjoy about buying from a local farm like this is I'm just really noticing a difference in the flavor when I buy some things in the grocery store lately, like even the apricot I just had. It just is flavorless. And then when I come out to a farm like this, well-rooted farm, and I come and I pick things right off the plant, I mean the flavor. What is it about the flavor difference when you pick as compared to buying produce at the grocery store?
So the ripening process is one, we talked about that, is one of the reasons. Another reason that our fruits and vegetables don't have a lot of flavor is our soils have become degraded, and it takes the biology in the soil, all the life that's down there, the bacteria, the fungi, the nematodes, all that working together to feed the plant the complex compounds, the amino acids, the things that it can use to create flavor and nutrients that we can use. So when the soil loses that life through lots of toxic chemicals and and practices that destroy it, like intense tillage, it loses its ability. Plants can exist with, they can grow, they can live just with fertilizers, with simple ions, but it takes the life in the soil that produces the complex compounds that they need, and they use in the ripening process for nutrient density and flavor. So I think there's at least two reasons why it tastes so much different out here than in the grocery store. And one is the ripening process, and the other one is the degradation of our soils in our commercial settings.
That makes sense. And I noticed that along all of your crops, you have flowers sort of intertwined within. Like here we have cantaloupes growing right in with the zinnias. And why do you grow so many flowers right within?
Yeah, so I tell people there's three reasons why I grow flowers. One, to attract the pollinators, because we need pollinators. We need bees, we need wasps, we need those pollinators to pollinate our blossoms, so we get melons and cucumbers. So the flowers help bring those and feed those natural pollinators. So that's the other reason I grow flowers, is to attract the women. And the third reason is I like them.
They're beautiful. It really makes your whole garden look so gorgeous and beautiful. It's so uplifting. In feng shui, flowers are uplifting. They uplift the energy too. So maybe it makes your produce a more high vibe, higher vibration.
I hope so. Yeah. Oh, I think so. Yeah. That energy thing is real. You can, when the soil is really working and the plants are working with the soil, you come out here, especially when the tomatoes are building fruit, and you come out in the early morning and you can almost feel it. If you're calm and still, it's really amazing. It's hard to explain, but it's real.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Well, thank you so much for showing us your garden and inspiring people that you can grow things in Central Oregon. I know there's so many gardeners, even home gardeners, who are feeling defeated this year with the hailstorms and the freezing and the lightning and the 108 degree temperatures.
Yeah, that really hot spell so early.
You were really proof that it can be done right here in Central Oregon.
Yeah, I think sometimes we can look at the challenges and get kind of caught up in all the challenges, but I like to encourage people just to ask the question, what's possible? How could this be possible? What would it take would make this happen? We can say, you can talk yourself out of it really easy by thinking, it's so cool here most of the time. We have water issues. There's so many reasons why you could get discouraged. But if you look at it and just ask yourself, how could it happen? What's the possibilities? How can I overcome the water issues? Well, drip irrigation, it's not that expensive. It's a little bit of work, but I want to encourage people that way. It's cold. Well, maybe we can use some frost cloth to protect our tender plants when it freezes. There's ways of doing things if we just look at possibilities.
I love it. Thank you so much for inspiring us all with what is possible. I'm excited to grow more myself.